Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Painting the Chat podcast live here on this Sunday night. This is Sean Michaud over there. Sean, happy Sunday evening, my friend. How are you this evening?
Happy Sunday. I'm doing well. How are you?
Sunday. Basketball's on TV. La, 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 la. I mean, we'll get it.
Super Bowl's done. We'll talk about that in a little bit.
Listen, yeah. I mean, some folks have some pretty strong feelings about football season being over now. There were so many tweets out today that were like, first Sunday without football. What am I going to do with myself? And it's like, guys, don't you know the Olympics are on? Don't you know that Team USA is competing right now? Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah. Just don't watch the NBA All-Star game, the All-Star weekend.
No.
It's been boring.
Yeah.
Just watch college basketball. It's better. Or, like you said, the Olympics.
Yeah. No, college basketball has been really great. We'll get into the NBA here. Actually, Sean, I think what we'll do is before we get into MLB preview, before we get into everything else here, including box scores and everything that's going on around the league, let's get into right now USA versus World 2026.
Just finished. They just wrapped it up.
Yeah. So, Sean, we were talking before we went live here. What were your thoughts on the format? I know we have a poll going up on Twitter. Please make sure to go over there, respond on it. But what are your overall thoughts here?
I mean, it's a different format. I like the best of it. I know it's only 3 teams, which is kind of weird but like I think last year they did they did 4 teams. I think was the last.
Yes. Yeah, it was 4 teams.
I mean, I just turned it on like 2 hours ago, so I was like halfway through it. So because I forgot I thought it was going to be on at 8 o'clock tonight. So
5 p.m. start. That was interesting.
So yeah, I mean, I really didn't watch yesterday's festivities at all. I heard the dunk contest was not great. I saw some really bad dunks. I saw some decent ones. I know Dame Lillard won the 3-point shooting contest, which is what he does.
That is what he does. We know Dame to do that.
And they didn't even didn't have the skills challenge all this year,
which is fascinating to me.
Well, I mean, if you saw Wimpy's performance last year, how serious they didn't take it.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. It seems like, and tell me if I'm off on this, but it seems like a majority of people who watched All-Star Weekend here with the NBA, from the sound of it, they've really enjoyed the World versus the USA stars. Like, it sounds like that landed pretty well. There could have been a different format to it. Like you mentioned before, Sean, Unrivaled one-on-one that you've been watching.
I want to talk about the Unrivaled thing really quickly, what they do really well.
No, this is good.
Which they do, I think it was like a turning racket thing they did, which they broke it up in like 3 days. So they did the first round last Friday, not Friday the 13th, but the Friday before that. And then they did last Friday they did the round 2 and then the semis, and then they did the quarterfinals and then the finals, which was the quarterfinals and finals. They were like a best of thing. Shout out to Chelsea Gray who won won $200,000. So
wow,
which I mean, it was fun to watch all these WNBA players play in Unrivaled doing the 1-1. It was so cool. Hard to read who your favorites are and stuff, but like,
right.
I wish, like you said, I wish the NBA would do that. I seriously doubt they're gonna ever do that. Unless, I mean, we'll probably see something like that in the future, but not under NBA.
Right. Yeah. You could kind of see somebody like Steph Curry retiring, LeBron retiring, Klay Thompson retiring, somebody like that, and then starting up their own league in a way, similar to Unrivaled. I mean, to be honest with you, it seems like that's the direction that a lot of former sports stars are going. We know that with Tiger Woods with TGL, right? Spin off of in-person golf to simulator golf, and it's been taking
Yeah.
off. It's been absolutely amazing. So, that does exist, and there's a market for it. Football has struggled with that over the years about trying to do something other than the NFL, whether it's the
Yeah.
UFL or the Canadian Football League, the CFL.
And there's also the flag football they do. I've seen flag football, which is really cool, which is going to be in the
Really
Olympics
cool.
in 2 years, which is
Hmm.
like really cool to see that. Um,
Yeah. But basketball, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what the final in the poll is, and we'll make sure to share it out with everybody about what their final thoughts on the NBA All Star Game was. But I mean, at the end of the day, too, Sean, like there's so much. So it's gotten this way with the NFL as well. The Pro Bowl was not very successful this year, right?
yeah,
Like nobody watched the skills competition, whatever else.
yeah,
MLB All Star Weekend, like the home run derby is always entertaining, right? It's always good to watch the home run
yeah.
derby. Last year's,
It was it was not the best, but it was
the
still
rules,
watchable.
man,
It was
the
still
rules
watch.
that they've
It
added.
was still watchable, but like I feel like the past few years, more like 5 years, that they've been changing rules every year.
Yeah, yep.
They can't keep find the consistent uh not change but consistent like key rule or whatever for it.
Yeah, like whether you get a golden ball after you've hit a home run, 500 plus, feet or whatever. Like there's rules like that I feel like have gone away. The golden bat rule. I mean, that one was always interesting to me.
And then
Um,
the extra balls when you hit over 450 feet.
450, that's what it was. Yes. Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's gotten to that point where, and maybe this is just a general question to not just us, but to our listeners and to people watching, is are we losing the drive and the want for all-star weekends because so many of these leagues compete at a high level throughout the year that when I mean a break is always necessary, right?
Oh yeah.
The one the one thing I'll say though is that we do have the Summer Olympics in 2 years. So basketball is going to be taking a break. Football, of course, that's going to be in the off season. So I imagine they may push off the preseason of football because they're going to be recovering still from flag football, the NFL players that are going to play overseas. So maybe I'm wrong in that. Maybe it won't be any problem. They'll come back and they'll play fine. That's
Yeah.
great. But are we losing that interest in all star weekends because of the competition? And maybe it's the point of we can conclude seasons earlier and get other ones started in terms of the overlap between different sports. I don't know. That's a more general question, I think, out to not just Americans, but to the world itself that watches All Star Weekend basketball in the
I've
NBA
I've
or
noticed
baseball.
like for the Olympics, I've noticed hockey is like the only, or the NFL is like the only one that takes a break and stops the league because of the
Right,
Olympics. I don't
right.
see that with baseball or
No.
basketball. I
I
mean,
think the exception's World Baseball Classic here, right? The World Baseball Classic kind of butts up towards the end of spring training, beginning of the year. So,
kind of, yeah,
but
yeah.
I mean, I feel like there's not a ton of, how do I put this? There aren't a lot of starting infielders and people in the lineup that are playing in the World Baseball Classic other than like Francisco Lindor, Roman Anthony for Team USA, right? Like there's certain guys on certain squads that are like the face. Like Roman Anthony is now Captain America for Team USA
Yeah.
now that Corbin Carroll can't play. So him there, Francisco Lindor for Team Puerto Rico. Um,
Mhm.
there's certain players that have always been that face. David Ortiz was the face of Team Dominican Republic for the
Oh yeah.
longest time.
Mm.
But the Red Sox didn't mind having him have to, like, he would play opening day, right? And then for the rest of the series, he was resting. He didn't DH, he didn't do anything.
Yeah.
They just let him take the time necessary.
Yeah.
Um, so I feel like baseball does do a good job, but World Baseball Classic is completely different. I feel like,
It's different than anything else. Like for Like,
The Four Nations Cup in NHL
yeah.
instead of their All-Star game. Like that was really cool.
See, what about FIFA World Cup? How does that? Like, I don't really watch the like the not the MLSL, but like,
Right.
How does that?
So I think what's going on right now with the World Cup coming up here, we're seeing we're going to be towards the end of the English Premier League season. So that means that the Premier League players are doing two things right now. They're getting prepared for the FIFA World Cup by going to practices wherever they may be with their world teammates or whatever their countrymen,
Yeah,
um, at those practices. But then there's also the Champions League. And I believe if somebody can correct me, but I believe the Champions League takes a break during the FIFA World Cup year because the Champions League is when you mix in English Premier League with the German soccer league as well, like
yeah,
Dortmund and Bayern Munich, all those teams because they all come and they play each other. So you have
yeah.
Liverpool versus
That would
Bayern Munich, and
make a lot of sense if they did. Yeah,
so the FIFA World Cup takes over every 4 years for the Champions League. Um, and I think it's more enjoyable, honestly, like to see the countries playing each other. I think it is more enjoyable than Champions League.
I no,
Um,
I watch more of the World Cup than the Champions League. So
and then forget it. I hate saying this. I'm excited that Steve Cohen and the New York Football Club are currently building right next to Citi Field, the soccer stadium for the MLS team, New York City Football Club, which I think is great. We're gonna have soccer right next to Citi Field.
nice.
The MLS has struggled, man. It has. I would love to go to a New England Revolution game. I would love to like go see soccer
I
like
have
in person.
I've never been to a soccer game in person. I mean, like I would love to go to like you said to those teams or I don't know like Gotham's the Gotham's the what's the Gotham FC whatever what is
Oh
it
yeah,
called
yeah.
or I'm trying to think of one of the women's ones.
Yes. Oh, that's the Boston Legacy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Go to the women's soccer league, National Women's Soccer League, NWSL.
No, yeah, I know.
Um,
I was trying to think of the team one of the team names. It was Gotham.
I think
I
it's I
know.
think it's Gotham City FC. Yeah, that's the New York one. Boston Legacy, and then there's another team around this way. I think it's in New York State somewhere.
Yeah, the
Um,
Gotham is based in New Jersey, New York.
New
Gotham
Jersey,
FC.
New York. Gotcha. Oh, so they play probably out by Red Bull Arena there in Patterson, New Jersey. That would make sense. Um, that's where the New York Red Bulls play. The other
Oh,
MLS
they play in
stadium.
Harrison.
Oh, Harrison. Sorry. Yes, that's where the other stadium is. Red Bull Arena, I think, is the name of the stadium. Unless they
But
changed the name
for
of
what
it.
Gotham? The Gotham
Yeah.
one? No, it's New York metropolis. No, it's the area. Hold on, that's not what it's called. Um, it is, it's not called Metro. Let me see.
Trying to remember the name of the stadium. I thought it was Red Bull Arena.
It probably
Let's
is.
see. But yeah. Anyway, as you're looking that up, um, it'll be interesting to see here what number one, what this poll comes back that we have on social media. But at the same time,
Sports
too,
Illustrated Stadium.
Sports Illustrated. I forgot because Sports Illustrated now does tickets. Yeah, that
Right,
makes
not
sense. Yeah,
Oh,
it's
so it was
interesting.
literally just changed because it was
Oh,
2024
did it?
Red Bull Arena. It was Red Bull Park before that.
Red Bull
Before
Park. Yeah, yeah,
so
that makes
yeah, so
sense.
it's yeah. I don't like that name. I'm sorry.
No, it's not. It's not a great name at all. Um, we'll get into the scores around the NBA All Star weekend coming up here, Sean. Um, however, before we get into box scores, all right, I think it would be really appropriate. Um, you and I were texting back and forth a little
Mhm.
bit. And listen, there's a really, really busy MLB season coming up this year, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of, with spring training now at our front door. And, uh, I think some uncertainties with the teams that we root for. I mean, I love where the Mets are going. I do like where the Red Sox are going.
Yeah, well, we do this. We do this every time we talk around this time, and I think we're gonna make some early predictions, right?
Yes, we are. However, until then, Sean, I need your reactions to some of the things that Sam Kennedy said today. I've got you on the spot now.
Okay, because
Some
I
of the
haven't seen
things,
this.
yeah, some of the things that Sam Kennedy said today during the Red Sox spring training press conference. Now, this comes from our friend over on Twitter, Tyler Milkelin. I can't say his last name. Tyler, I botched your last name. I apologize. Um, However, I'm going to play a few clips here, Sean. I'm going to play through them all, okay? And then I
Okay,
want you actually. Then I want to get your reactions to what Sam Kennedy has said here. So let's start with this first one around Sam Kennedy and his thoughts on Craig Breslow. It's a little bit quiet, so
yeah. What did she? I sorry, I couldn't hear what she asked.
Look, Brez, I think the results speak for themselves. And what I mean by that is look at the decisions he's made, look at the performance of the team, getting us back to the postseason, making incredibly bold, decisive decisions, having firm conviction in the type of team he wants to build, building a complete roster, focusing on wins and win total, something we talk a lot about, not individual players, but his
mm,
job is to build a team. And so, very, very pleased with Craig and everybody in baseball operations for that matter. It's been a good first couple of years for Brez and very confident in him and his ability to lead this baseball operation.
yeah, the Red Sox also need to work on their microphones. That's turned
Yes.
all the way up on all ends, folks. Like that's everything that we even had to jack our audio up. And it's still not loud enough. So apologies for that. But that's Sam Kennedy there talking about Craig Breslow. Now, Sean, this is the one that's got Red Sox Nation a little bit confused.
Yeah.
Well, you can't replace someone like Rafi. He's just
Yes, you
an
can.
individual,
What?
exceptional hitter, and so we got to find other ways.
Sam, you mentioned 25 years. You've been around a long time. How different does this roster feel than the days of Ortiz and Manny and Mookie and even Rafi?
Yeah. Well, the thing, look, we have to find our identity. You don't have an identity on February 15th. That said, we've clearly focused a lot on starting pitching and
I mean, no
bullpen.
duh.
So
Yeah.
anytime we've had success in those 25 years, we've had elite pitching, especially top of the rotation type pitching. So,
Well, maybe for like 2 or 3 years.
stands out, at least as we sit here today. But as Brez has said many, many times, you can never have enough, ever, ever. I shudder when you hear people say, "What are you going to do with all these pitchers?" Like, don't say that out loud. So,
What?
but that
Don't
was
say that out loud.
sure.
Oh, and then Sean, listen, this is the one that got everybody pissed off. This is the comment that everybody
Oh,
was like, I'm sorry,
I see
what?
Alex Bregman in the comp. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, we so grateful to Alex Bregman and what he meant to us. But look, in the end, when you have choices the way he did, you work really hard to be in a position to become a free agent and to perform at that level. He chose a different path, and we wish him well. And looking forward to seeing him at the end of the season at Fenway.
The no trade plus thing. Is that organizational policy that you don't give out full or partial no trade?
No, look, if Alex Bregman wanted to be here, ultimately he'd be here.
But
Like,
Yeah, but
okay.
he's not here.
So, Sean,
Sorry for saying. I feel like when I'm like doing this, thinking the audio is going to get louder, but it's not. It's fine.
I need your thoughts on Sam Kennedy's press conference today. I mean, number one, about Breslow and saying the Red Sox, anytime we've been successful, it's always been elite pitching. I'm sorry, does Manny Ramirez and David Ortiz and all that not count then?
No,
Like,
I
let's
feel like
start there. Let's start with that.
I think he's only including the years when we had Kurt Schilling, Pedro, and then or 2017, 2013. I'm like, but that's not that's like 4 years of a span of 25 years. Like, but he's not.
Right.
He's discrediting all the hitting. Whereas the Red Sox are a hitting team more than a pitching team. We know
Yeah.
this.
Right. Yeah, Rafi Devers comment. Now I need to get your thoughts on the Rafi Devers comment because it's ridiculous. It's like, okay, if you want to have an identity this year, and you're saying that that Rafi was an identity piece at the time, but you had to move on from him, and that you don't know what your identity is by February 15th. I think that's kind of a problem.
I agree. I mean,
you should know who you are by February 15th.
Yeah, I don't know. This whole press conference it just feels like they're so unprepared.
Alex Bregman, your thoughts? If Alex Bregman wanted to be a Red Sox, he would still be here. And he totally dodged the thing that you and I have been talking about, which is the no trade clause. Do you notice he looked down, he took a sip of water, and he didn't even address that, which is a problem because in order to have players that want to sign long-term contracts with teams, you have to have no trade clauses in there.
If Alex Bregman wanted to be here, he'd be here, not with someone else. Like, really? This is why I don't have them. Red Sox, I know one.
Based on that, Sean, let's move into our spring
I just hate talking about them. I get tired of talking about them. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Spring training schedule 2026 is underway, Sean. Look at this. We've got some spring training games coming up here in Major League Baseball. I'm not counting the college games, Red Sox versus Northeastern, because, I mean, that's just, we know how that's going to
go. Yeah. Not good.
Saturday, February 21st, 1:05 at the Lee Health Sports Complex is the Red Sox and the Twins. And then on Saturday, February 21st as well, at Clover Park, the Marlins take on the Mets. So, Sean, exciting times for spring training, huh?
Yeah, it's I love the end of February, early March is my favorite time of year, especially with sports. Baseball is starting. March Madness is here. Nothing like that. That whole March is like so good.
Yeah, it's good stuff, man. It really is. And, the thing about spring training, too, when you're looking at these matchups, I mean, the Mets are going to be starting Carson Bench. We're going to be starting a lot of rookies just to see how they're going to perform. I'm really interested with the Red Sox. You've got Tristan Casas coming back. You've got Roman Anthony. You've got Marcelo Meyer. You've got Christian Campbell, who they've got to figure out what they're going to do with Christian Campbell as well. In terms of either he's going to start in Worcester or he's going to be on the bench in Boston to start the year.
And this is the perfect timing for him to figure out where he's going to be in this lineup and where he's going to play. Like, coming opening day, it's going to be. I don't want to have the Red Sox be a mess. We'll be under 500 and like 30 games in by the end of April or whatever.
Right. Yeah, that's not ideal. That's not ideal at all.
No.
I mean, there's been a lot of people floating the idea, much similar to Carson Bench. They moved Juan Soto over to left field on the Mets for the spring training to see how he does in left so that Carson Bench can play in right field. And there's going to be a battle between him and probably, probably another like Tyrone Taylor or somebody else. The Mets are going to have to figure out who their right fielder will be. I think for the Red Sox, it's interesting because you have Cedon who plays center and should continue to play center, right?
You're right.
But you have somebody like Christian Campbell and Marcelo Meyer and first base. Wilson Contreras is going to be at first base, but he's also willing to catch. And you have Connor
Yeah.
Wong, and so I think that for the Red Sox specifically, the Mets are going to have their position players and be able to play them where they have to be.
Yeah,
But for the Reds,
that infield is going to be so like locked in for you guys.
pretty much set. Yeah, Marcus Semien at second, Francisco Lindor at shortstop, Bo Bichette at third, and then Mark Vientos.
I wish I could say that for the Red Sox, but I can't.
No, you guys this entire spring are going to have to play guys at different positions and see how they do. Like, I'm going to be honest with you. Trevor Story's going to be shortstop, most likely.
Probably, yes.
Trevor Story has played third base in the past for Colorado.
I mean, are they going to do like a switch?
Marcelo Meyer played shortstop for the Portland Sea Dogs in Worcester briefly. So that, you know what I'm saying? There's an opportunity to do a little switcherooing, more with the Red Sox than any other team.
I don't want to come into like I said, like 2 months in, and we're still switching off. We need like locked in where players are playing for. Like, it's going to be very important for that. Like, because I don't want our infield to be utility players, if you know what I mean.
No, that's not at all. That's not at all what you want.
That's what a utility player is for. Not
right. Like, who's a great example of that? Brock Holt.
I was just about to say Brock Holt. Yeah.
Brock Holt was a great utility player.
Andrew Benintendi was a little bit of utility, a little bit.
Yes, he was. I mean, I guess you could also put, I'm thinking back to the older, Pokey Reese played shortstop, but he also played third base. He also did a little bit of second base.
Yeah.
Like, Pokey Reese kind of popped around in that infield as well. Dave Roberts. Want to talk about a guy? He was an outfielder. He was a designated hitter. He was a pinch runner, obviously, in that most famous moment. He was a pinch runner at first and stole a base. So
never forget that moment.
The Red Sox have a history of like really good utility guys that help get them to World Series. Can we is that Christian Campbell? Like, who is that utility guy? Rob Refschneider's gone. Rob was kind of that guy.
What about Connor Wong? Yeah.
He's
more outfielder. I mean, he's a good outfielder too.
What does he play? Right field?
He played center field, doesn't he?
Center field?
I remember. Hold on.
Connor Wong was in center, and then Cedon was DHing, I think. In that case, that was once Devers was traded and the Castus injury happened.
Yeah,
I believe that's what happened there.
I remember him being in the outfield for a couple weeks because of injuries.
Yeah. Well, based on that, Sean, let's get this rolling. Let's take a look and see, because you and I carefully crafted, went through, we figured out who our division winners for MLB predictions this year will be. Let's get the train rolling into the 2026 into the 2026 baseball season. Sean, you have no idea. You have no idea who I chose. You even texted me and said, I can't wait to see which teams you have.
Are you surprised by my choices, though?
Yes, there were some, and we will go over those. And there are going to be some that surprise you with me as well. Folks, let's get it going. Starting in the American League East. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Sean, you have the Toronto Blue Jays winning the AL East. What am I thinking?
What are you thinking?
What am I thinking here?
I don't know why I thought I was going to literally pick the Tampa Bay Rays for some reason, but I changed. but I had to because I had to switch it because I think Blue Jays are going. They're going to go deep again. They had a really good team last year. Come on, it's. I mean, who knows? We could see another Blue Jays Dodgers World Series, which I don't want to see, but
right. So you have the Blue Jays. Who do you think comes in second in the AL East?
Probably Yankees. I'm most likely Yankees, and then it's gonna be either us or Orioles, or it's gonna be a mix of the last three. Like I don't know. I know Tampa Bay was dead last year, but who knows? They always surprise me every year.
Yeah, they always find a way to try to make a run at a postseason spot, usually a wild card, and then they fall off the last 10 games of the season. And then it's like, oh, they were so close. I took the Boston Red Sox for one reason and one reason only. Injuries. I think it was the reason why, and we'll talk about the AL Central here and why we both took the Detroit Tigers.
Yeah. I can't believe we both chose the Mariners too. Like, it's almost, imagine if I said the Red Sox, would be perfect.
I mean, listen, and this is the thing too. I think the AL East is much more wide open than we expect because we don't know what's going to happen with Pete Alonso in Baltimore. We don't know if they have more moves planned for the trade deadline because Pete has the ability to go out and convince players to come and play. We haven't seen Gunnar Henderson. Adley Rutschman's in his second year. And Jackson Holiday is only getting better with more experience at shortstop.
How could you not choose the Tiger with Screwball on the team? So,
right, exactly. But the Red Sox choice for me was because there's a part of me that is worried about injuries. The Yankees didn't really improve their team whatsoever. Not for nothing, it seems like every other year, Aaron Judge has a long injury stint that goes about a month, where the Yankees really start to fall apart. And with the Blue Jays specifically, they've had some.
The Blue Jays.
I think the Blue Jays will get a wild card spot, but I think the Bo Bichette effect with that team is really going to play hard. Chris Bassett is gone as well. They lost some guys. They lost some guys to free agency, and I think when you're looking at Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and the rest of the squad around him, I think when you start pulling away somebody like Bo Bichette, who he had on the opposite side defensively, I think that's going to play itself out at the end of the day. Do they make a wild card? Yes, because I think this is how it's going to go. It's going to go Red Sox in first. I think the Blue Jays are going to be like half a game out of first place. I think it's going to come down to the last 10 games of the season.
Yeah.
I think Baltimore's in third. I think the Yankees are in fourth. I just see a really bad injury year for them. And again, they didn't update their roster. Cody Bellinger, this whole hype around the contract that he got, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think he's as good as the money he's paid, personally.
He's not in his, I guess, prime anymore, I could say. Maybe 3 or 4 years ago he was, but
Giancarlo Stanton, Ryan McMahon, these are guys that are like in their late 30s now.
No, the Yankees are an old head team, I guess.
They are, and I just don't see that playing well with a young Baltimore Orioles team, with a young Red Sox team, with a young Blue Jays team. At the end of the day, and I think Tampa Bay comes in last. I think I know they just they fixed up Tropicana Field. They're ready to have a season back there, but there's so many. It's similar to Oakland and what happened with the Athletics. There's so much talk about the Tampa Bay Rays selling the team to Orlando, moving the team to a different part of Florida.
It's these Florida teams are like, I'm talking like the Marlins, like the Marlins. I don't know, like Tampa Bay Rays and the Miami Marlins, the Florida Marlins. No, Miami. Sorry. See, I want the Florida Marlins back.
They are doing the throwback jerseys this year, which I do appreciate.
Oh, maybe I should try to catch one.
Yeah, I mean they're pretty awesome. They're the throwback to like the late '90s Marlins jerseys. They even have the hats back with the F on them with the Marlins. It's awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it. I just can't put Tampa up there. Like they'll have their run
Yeah.
probably towards the middle of the season before the All-Star break, but I don't know how long the Tampa Bay Rays are still going to be in Tampa. I don't know.
Tampa's just a mixed bag. Like every year they'll mix. Either they're really good, or they're really bad, or in the middle. It's like it. You never know what's going to happen with them.
Yeah. Let's move into the AL Central here. We both have the Detroit Tigers. I'm curious to hear why you picked Detroit and if it's similar to my reason, Sean.
What's your reason?
You want to know my reason first?
Yes.
It's the pitching staff.
Yeah.
They have with Tarek Skubal.
And that's why I
And
mentioned him earlier. So,
I mean, Jackson Joby and Jack Flaherty. And I mean, I could just keep going. I mean, they have, and this is the thing with Detroit. They don't only have one of the top, if not like next to the Red Sox, right? Red Sox have a fantastic rotation.
yeah.
I think the Tigers are just above them. I would put Tigers then Red Sox just because of age. I think the Tigers have a young staff, but they have a proven staff, knowing they made it to the postseason last year. They've got a little bit longer of a run in the postseason in their belt.
Mhm.
And not for nothing, Tarek Skubal is due for like a crazy year, like going like 18-3 or something with a under 3 ERA. Like he's due for an amazing season. I'm going to say that about somebody else when we get to the National League too. But boy, oh boy, this Detroit Tigers team, I don't even think we're talking about the bats. You know, I mean, Max Clark and oh my goodness, who else do we have to be worried about Detroit? There's just a whole bunch of guys there. Yeah, and I would listen. I'd love to see the Cleveland Guardians on this list. I really would. I thought about Cleveland for a little bit, like they're due with Stephen Kwan and Stephen Vogt's done a great job in Cleveland trying to keep that squad together and build them up. But Detroit, man.
Yeah, I mean, freaking Javier Baez.
What? So the Mets had Javi Baez. He did nothing in New York. The minute he goes to Detroit, he's super successful. I mean, that's how New York is. But at the same time, I think that's the management. I think that's that team.
Yeah. I know.
They're a good squad, man.
I almost also kind of was thinking the Royals as well. I think the Royals are going to get a wild card. I think it's just because of their hitting and pitching. It's not the greatest, but I think it's going to be enough to get a wild card.
Bobby Witt Jr. is due for a postseason run here. Like he's been incredible at shortstop. I don't want to see Bobby Witt become the Mike Trout of the AL Central. I don't want to see that.
No.
I don't want to see that. And speaking of Mike Trout in the American League West,
yes.
Sean, we are unified on the AL West, and I think we know why.
Yes.
I think we know why. I think Julio Rodriguez, I think we did see an incredible season from Cal Raleigh, but I feel like Seattle is ready to really push itself to the next level here.
Maybe even a first World Series appearance.
I would say so. We're going to get into World Series odds too, and see where they stand today.
I think Seattle needs it. Like being a Red Sox fan, I don't see the Red Sox going to make it. We might go to the postseason, like you said, wild card, or what you said, be in first place. But I don't see them making as far as either the Tigers or Seattle.
I think we're probably looking at our AL Championship Series right there between Detroit and Seattle, if I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
And boy, would it be a great one. Tarek Skubal trying to pitch over Julio Rodriguez and Cal, like sign me up for that
Yes.
for a 7-game series. Like absolutely sign me up.
That's a good postseason series right there.
That is. Seattle's in a very interesting spot too, with the Seattle Seahawks winning the Super Bowl, Seattle Mariners. You've got this talk of the Seattle Supersonics coming back in the NBA with expansion. The Seattle Kraken hockey team are poised for a NHL playoffs run. Like Seattle might be the up and coming next city to have a dynasty situation like Boston.
We've got the Seattle Storm.
Seattle Storm.
Yeah, really good basketball team.
Yep. So Seattle is on its way up in terms of the sports world, and I would not be surprised if they're next to go there. Sean, do you think if you were to put side by side the Seattle Mariners team and the Los Angeles Dodgers team, I mean, I think here's the thing. I would say Seattle is the better team personally, not just
No, I know.
LA's got the superstars.
I was going to agree with you. I think some of these superstars they got, I think they're going to not play well this year.
Injuries, they're older.
Injuries, not going to play well. I don't know. It's just maybe mostly because of the injuries. Or
keep an eye on Seattle too. Like we're talking about the AL Central, right? And if Kansas City has a really bad start to the year, right? Bobby Witt is on the last year of his contract. Currently, right now, the shortstop for the Seattle Mariners is J.P. Crawford. J.P. Crawford is now 38 years old, right?
Probably his last year, honestly.
Probably his last year. Do not be surprised if Seattle doesn't make a big acquisition at the trade deadline to push them over the edge. They did it with Suarez. Suarez ended up leaving, right? Suarez was a good piece, but he's not somebody that wanted to stay and build up the team. Talking about Kansas City, would they be willing to move on from a Vinny Pasquantino or a Bobby Witt and send them to Seattle for prospects? That would be an interesting move. And imagine Bobby Witt Jr. playing shortstop in Seattle with that lineup. Bobby Witt, Julio Rodriguez, Cal Raleigh. No 1, 2, like 3, 4, and 5.
That's an insane lineup right there.
I mean, then we're talking about Seattle going on, we're talking dynasty baseball team here.
Yeah.
But I don't know. What are your thoughts, Sean? Final thoughts on Seattle here? Because we're talking a lot about them, but they're a super exciting team, and I feel like you and I are going to be watching a lot of Seattle Mariners baseball this year.
Like you said, I think they probably need at least another hitter, like you said, maybe by the deadline in the middle when they get to it in June. And maybe another pitcher that would be like either a relief pitcher or a starter. I can't really think of who right now, but that would really secure a World Series.
A Tyler Rogers. I mean, you're talking about maybe some if Atlanta has a rough start to the year, do they go in and get one of their young relievers? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like you're right. They're going to want a relief pitcher somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Yep. So I was surprised they didn't go out and try to get Edwin Diaz back when he went to LA. I think I would have loved to have seen Edwin go back to Seattle. That would have been great.
Yeah.
It's where he was before the Mets. So yeah, very exciting. I think when you look at the Central and the West, though, I think that we're staring right at our AL championship game right there, championship series.
Yeah, Dodgers, Seattle,
Tigers and Mariners.
I mean,
Tigers, Seattle.
Tigers.
Hey, listen, Dodgers, Seattle might end up being it at the end. We'll get to the World Series odds just in a little bit here. But Sean, let's move on to the National League predictions. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Sean, with my New York Mets winning the East, me taking the Philadelphia Phillies
Are you surprised by me taking the Mets? I'm surprised you
No,
taking the Phillies.
yeah.
I
I,
almost went.
I,
I almost went with Washington though. I think
Dylan
Washington.
Cruz.
Yeah, I think Washington could be. It's gonna be a tight race between either Washington, maybe New York, just because what you guys did in the offseason with your infield. And I think, like again, when the trade deadline comes, I think you're gonna need a couple more pieces. If
Pitching.
they do it right this year, and not fuck up in the second half like you always do.
That's yeah.
I mean, that's one reason why I picked the Mets. I think they're not going to fuck up this year. I think we're gonna see not a repeat of 2 years ago where they went to the NLCS. CS. I can't remember.
It's CS, yeah. It got blown out by the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Listen, I took the Phillies because I get worried about my Mets towards the end of the year.
See, we're like the same thing. Like I'm not picking my Red Sox, but I'm picking your Mets. That's how we roll.
It's the opposite, right? I just don't trust them yet to finish out the end of the year. We have a 3-game series against the Phillies, and then we end on a 3-game series against the Marlins. And it's the exact similar schedule to last year where we botched it and missed the playoffs. And I think with the current pitching rotation that we have, I love Jonah Tong. I love Nolan McLean. I love Freddie Peralta. The players I can't trust right now are Kodai Senga, specifically because he had a rough year last year. And I love David Peterson. I really do. But he's not making the jump like I'd hope he would. Like I hope he would in the past. I think it's time to move on from Kodai Senga personally. Freddie Peralta, though, is probably going to become the face of that pitching rotation. And we got to get somebody else and it's got to be a vet because you can't have Nolan McLean and Jonah Tong relying on David Peterson and Kodai Senga to give them the experience and the teaching necessary to be successful because they themselves are still struggling into their late 20s, beginning of their 30s with having a solid year. So I'm at the point where it's like I would love to take the Mets for the division. And I know why you did. And it's because of that infield. I think Juan Soto's up for a big year here for sure. I think Lindor's up for a big year this year. But the Phillies, man, I mean, they always find a way. I think the loss of Ranger Suarez to the Red Sox, talking about that rotation, was big, but they're really good come the trade deadline. They always find like 2 or 3 pieces that fit in well. And Brandon Marsh is due for a big year in Philadelphia, I feel. I'm thinking 40-plus home runs for Brandon Marsh this year. He's been slowly building up 25, 35. I think last year was 37. So he's ready for an all-star year with high numbers in Philadelphia. So I think the Mets definitely get a wild card spot for sure. I'm not too worried about them losing a wild card spot.
Where do you see the Nationals? Do you see like getting a wild card like me? Like I said,
yeah, I think the Nationals are in a really interesting spot. They still have Mackenzie Gore. They have a young pitching rotation.
I think Bryce Harper is going to have a good year this year. I'm going to say it right here
for the Phillies.
Yeah,
I think he is as well. With the Nationals, though, you bring up an interesting point. You have James Wood, right, who was really impressive during the home run derby. You have C.J. Abrams, who is one hell of a fucking shortstop. You got Dylan Cruz in the outfield.
Yeah.
Mackenzie Gore is pitching. They have a lot of young guys. I mean, it feels a little bit like the two.
It feels like,
how do I put it?
I feel like the Red Sox and the Nationals are kind of in the same spot. Well, kind of like both young teams. Obviously, our pitching's a little better than Nationals, but man, there's some good hitting over there. like you
They
said,
do.
like Dylan Cruz, and
I think
we'll
they're only.
go good.
I think they're only going to get better too. I think I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what happens, but I think the Nationals could absolutely contend for one of the final wild card spots.
Mm.
Um, for sure. I think it comes down to at the end of the day how the Milwaukee Brewers do, as we see with the Central, and not for nothing. Let's get into the NL Central so that we can talk
Yeah.
about it here. Sean, you took the Cincinnati Reds. You think that this is finally the year that we see
I
the
do.
Cincinnati Reds do
I mean, they
something?
made some really good offseason moves. I mean, of course, re-signing their closer, Pagan,
Oh
which
yeah,
they really, yeah, and then getting Caleb Ferguson, Brock. I'm just looking at ESPN right now.
yeah.
And then getting Pierce Johnson, and then getting
They-
JJ Bradley, Dane Myers for was like, and they also got Nathaniel Lowe to play first. I mean, what they did for the Reds,
Oh,
which is a fantastic move for the Reds.
I wish he was still in Boston for you guys. I really
I
do.
mean,
He had such a good postseason.
yeah, I mean last year they had they came in third. I mean, the Brewers and the Cubs were just a little better, but I think it's their year. It's going to be really close. I think between those three teams.
Yeah.
I wish
How do you,
I wish I could say the Pirates, but I don't think the Pirates are going to. I think they got a couple years.
really? I I was really impressed with them offering for Kyle Schwarber a serious amount of money. I think the Pirates might be in play come the trade deadline.
What I meant in a couple years, like actually go deep into the postseason,
Oh, gotcha.
maybe they
Yes,
could. They're gonna be a lot better this year, but um,
better
like
than the
yeah,
Brewers or better than
I think Central in general, all the teams are going to be good.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone was above. I said only three teams were above 500 last year, but I mean, I don't know what's going on with the Cardinals.
I mean that team is just they've fallen off the face of the earth, and the problem is they got Victor Scott the second. They've got
Yeah,
they've got decent players, Jordan Walker, um, Nolan Arenado. Like they have decent players. They just can't figure out the rotation, man. They just can't
yeah.
figure it out.
What's your reason behind the Cubs? Is this?
I think losing Kyle Tucker, I think at the end of the day was hard. Um, I think you're going to see Kevin Alcantara have a fantastic year, the rookie. Um, I think you're going to watch Seiya Suzuki really take off. But the two players that are really determining this for me the Cubs infield is kind of no joke. You've got Caminero, you've got Alex Bregman, and you've got Nico Horner, which Nico Horner is like a very underrated player.
Yeah,
Seiya Suzuki, I believe Harrison Bader is back in Chicago. I don't know. There's just they have a young pitching rotation with Leiter Jr. and uh, there's just something about this Cubs team. I think that you're going to see Alex Bregman take the next step even beyond what he did with the Red Sox last year. I think Nico Horner's going to have a fantastic year at second base. But the player that I think, yes, again, they lost Kyle Tucker, but Seiya Suzuki is the player for them
yeah.
that I look at and I'm like, you're talking about another 40-plus home run guy who, with
I
Alex Bregman, is
I
going to be able to
feel
get this team back into contention.
I feel like the same way with the Reds, especially with Elliot. I think Elliot Cruz is going to be a fantastic year. I think he's going to. I think he's going to get hit close to 300
Yeah.
average for a shortstop.
Oh, Dansby Swanson. Dansby Swanson as well.
Yeah.
And Ian Happ in left field. Like, yeah, no, I hear that with Cincinnati.
Yeah,
I think Ellie De La Cruz is due for a big year.
with Suarez too. I mean, so I think Suarez is
They got
gonna,
Suarez back. Yeah,
yeah, like
that's true.
he's almost hit 50 home runs last year, which is insane for. I think. See, I think Reds are going to be really good this year.
I could see it, and they're kind of my um they're my wild card, but they're competing for that division. I think the Cubs are only going to win the division by like half a game to a game. I think we're going to see a lot of that this year, where it's going to come down to those final like 5 games in a series to determine who wins the division. Because some of these teams are just so tight and they're just so good. I'm just looking through the depth chart for the Cincinnati Reds. Hunter Green is prepared probably to have a really good year. Rhett Lauder had a great year last year. Chase Burns, the rookie pitcher. Chase Petty. I mean, Jesus Christ. You get some of these players, man. Connor Phillips. I forgot you guys still. Tyler Stevenson at catcher. Spencer Steer.
You said Brady Singer?
Yeah, Brady Singer. Matt McLean. K. Brian Hayes at third base.
Rhett Lauder is a really good pitcher, man.
Yeah, no, he is. And then JJ Bleday from Milwaukee. That was a huge steal for them, grabbing him.
Like the Reds are no joke this year. They're going to be insane. Like I know not many people, even in MLB, journalists are going to say they're probably not going to pick it a lot, but I think they're going to be underdogs this year. Like,
yeah,
no one's going to suspect them. And coming in October and see where I am, see where we are, and I'm right.
I mean, and let's get to the NL West here, Sean. I think we both know why we took the Dodgers. I think we're pretty sure why.
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
do we really need to spell it out?
I mean, they've got quite the team lined up. I think the only other team that could give LA.
I would say we could probably talk about the team. Probably most likely the Padres are going to be up there.
So as of today, the Padres signed Nick Castellanos from the Phillies because they released him. So they just added another 30-plus home run guy to their lineup. And then they signed Griffin Canning from the Mets, who had a decent year last year, to come in and be a reliever and also can start a few games.
It's still crazy to me to think the Padres were only 3 games back from them. Like last year, and I think it was because of their injuries at the end of the end.
Yeah, I mean, you look at their roster, Sean, just in the pitching rotation, Nick Pivetta, Joe Musgrove, Michael King. I forgot they brought Michael King in. Randy Vasquez, Yu Darvish, right? Like
I always forget Yu Darvish is on the team.
Yeah.
My brain always, when I think of Yu Darvish, I always think of him back in Texas for the Rangers.
I forgot they got Roman Laureano from Toronto.
Oh, that's right.
So they have oh my God. So here's just their outfield. Is Fernando Tatis Jr., Jackson Merrill with Nick Castellanos, who can play short center field, and then Roman Laureano and Gavin Sheets in left, shortstop Xander Bogaerts, third base Manny Machado, second base Jake Cronenworth, and then first base is going to be Miguel Andujar. And then a catcher is Freddie Fermin or Luis Campusano. Yeah. Like, holy shit. If the Dodgers have any injuries, which we're expecting throughout the year, Freddie Freeman, some of the others, I mean, I don't see how this Padres team does not catch up and keep it close in the NL West like they were last year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just when they get to the postseason, they can't finish the job. That's the problem.
I mean, there's certain players that choke, in the postseason on that team. I mean, I know they won twice, but
Yeah. Sean, let's look at those World Series odds here. Okay. This is what they're outlining right now. I have thoughts about these. I
So,
have a lot of thoughts.
so the teams that we have Tigers on that. We said Red Sox, Phillies, Mets, Blue Jays, Mariners, and Dodgers. That's what we have for. And then we didn't say Yankees, we didn't say Braves, which kind of surprised me. I don't see Houston doing well this year.
No.
No. One that surprised me, Baltimore on there.
So the fact that they put Baltimore as the same odds as the Detroit Tigers, just because Baltimore got Pete Alonso, like they think that that's plus 475 in the division. Tigers plus 120. Yeah, okay. Look at the wins odds. Like they're saying that the Baltimore Orioles are going to only be one game worse than Detroit with only really Pete Alonso. I mean, Golden Cowser, sure. Like some of those guys in Baltimore, sure. But
that's really
like
all they added. You can't tell me the Tigers are worse than the Orioles by that much.
No.
I think the Tigers are way. I think they should be up with the Red Sox where they are. Bring Red Sox down a little bit. I think the Tigers are better than Red Sox.
Why are we holding the Yankees in such high regard here? Over Seattle by like what was that? 2 games?
It's funny. Do you agree with the Mets being higher than Red Sox?
Yeah, no, it makes sense that the Mets are higher than the Red Sox.
Yeah.
But it's interesting to me that Toronto is above the Mets, knowing that the Mets got Bo Bichette. So it's weird, man.
It's ESPN. What?
Yes, up at the top there, you can see right there, ESPN.
It's like I don't like ESPN rankings or anything ESPN how they ranks up. It's so atrocious what they do with rankings, especially in college.
Based on the teams that we were talking about, though, Sean. If you were to look at this list and then look at the teams that we just went over here, you had Blue Jays, Tigers, Mariners in the AL, and then Mets, Reds, Dodgers in the NL. And then looking at this, if you were to make the early prediction today, who is going to be in the 2026 World Series? Who are those 2 teams for you?
I think of what I said before. I think it's going to be Mariners, Dodgers. I think Mariners are going to win it.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I think it's going to be for the ALCS. I think it's going to be Mariners, Tigers, Mariners winning, and I think it's going to be probably. I think it's going to be Mets, Dodgers, and Dodgers winning it, and then
Mariners versus Dodgers with the Mariners winning it.
I don't want the Dodgers to go to the World Series, but I think that's what's going to happen.
Do I? I would love to see the Mets play the Mariners. I think that would be a fantastic matchup.
That would be a better matchup. I think it would be a much more exciting game to watch. But
with how the Dodgers are,
who knows? It could be Red Sox Mets World Series.
It is the 40th anniversary this year.
That's why I said it.
Of the 1986 World Series. So, I mean, it would be pretty poetic. It would be pretty poetic if that was to happen. I think that's the matchup we're rooting for this year. If folks were to ask Sean and I, which World Series is likely to happen and which World Series would you like to see? The like to see is Red Sox versus Mets. That's the like to see.
It kind of reminded me of this thing I saw. It's not baseball related, but I saw a tweet saying the last time Lindsey Vonn tore his ACL, both UConn teams won the World Champions this year. I mean, that year. So it could be very possible it could happen again this year because Lindsey Vonn tore ACL.
Jeez. That's called the Sean Michaud fun fact, everybody. Um, but yeah, I'm right there with you, Mariners, Dodgers, and I'd like to see Seattle win. I would. I think it'd be
Yeah.
great. All West Coast matchup there for sure would be the way to go. Sean, also taking a look here. I thought this was interesting. Um, we have. I'm not even going to get the box scores this evening because
No,
I
I
think
was going to say,
we're
yeah,
we're,
it's
we're
a little
getting
late.
we're getting late here. But I want to run through some quick other things, and then also I have a very exciting announcement for all of our viewers. This will be going up on social media. Very exciting stuff coming up. So stay tuned for that. Sean, as we are getting closer here to the end of the NBA season, heading back to the NBA briefly, I want you to take a look at these Eastern Conference odds. These are for the conference winner odds. Cleveland Cavaliers still up there. Detroit Pistons, Knicks, and Celtics. Listen, the Knicks have been struggling recently. It feels like the Pistons are getting better here. The fact that Cleveland is still at plus 300 to me is confusing. I would say Detroit and Boston are probably should be the two favorites here.
Yeah, I mean, especially with Jason Tatum coming back, very very soon. I think that odds going to go up higher. I think that's why they don't. I think that's why they put him there, because we haven't seen Jason Tatum play with this team and how this brand new team. It's not brand new, but new team.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just looking at the Hornets.
I know. I was really confused here that the Hornets were at plus 3,000, right?
Yeah.
But the Toronto Raptors were only plus 4,500. The Raptors have been playing pretty well recently.
They're playing.
So
they're playing better than the Hornets. I can tell you that.
in the Orlando Magic behind the Philadelphia 76ers?
I'm going to say I think the Wizards should be a little higher.
Yeah, I mean they added quite a few pieces, right, to make things interesting in the second half of the year, second half of the season here.
That's on
so. Yeah, nobody's betting on those odds. Let me tell you that. And then also, Sean, that's for the Eastern Conference Finals. Remember that. Look at that: Cleveland, Pistons, Knicks, Celtics. Here is the NBA Finals winner odds as of right now. What stands out to you here? Because I can already see three things.
The Thunder's up first for some reason.
I mean, I think that's just because they won last year, right?
No, yeah. I'm just going through this list. Of course, the Knicks there. Rockets, Spurs, Lakers, Sixers, Golden State, Hornets, Magic, Heat.
The San Antonio, yeah, I know the Bucks. I noticed that one.
Yeah.
I
didn't say the Spurs are surprising there.
plus 1,600. Fifth, is that fit? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, seventh best on odds. That's a weird number, man. Like, is it fair to say that the Spurs are playing better than the Celtics right now? I would say so. De'Aaron Fox has been going off. Like, Devin Vassell has been going off.
Yeah, I mean, we're literally they're only 3 games ahead of us in terms of games. But why are they so low though? Like,
especially, so we're giving too much to the New York Knicks. I'm going to be honest here. We're giving too much to them.
I mean,
and honestly, we're giving too much to the Denver Nuggets.
Yeah.
Like, if we're going to be honest here, Nuggets at plus 450 to be the NBA Finals winner when the San Antonio Spurs are sitting at 1,600. I'm going to be honest with you, have a young, more deep rotation of guys, even off the bench compared to the Nuggets. Like, that's a Michael Porter Jr. less Nuggets team. And that's an inconsistent Jokic who's been kind of on and off in terms of, like, He's sore one night, so he sits out a couple nights, and then you know
I
what I mean.
honestly
So
think Spurs and Nuggets to switch. Honestly,
I think the Spurs, yeah. I mean, Thunder and Spurs. That's so. If I were to look at a Western Conference Finals matchup
and
right now, that's what
switch
I'd
with
want.
the next with the Celtics. Honestly,
Yes,
again, we don't have Jason Tatum yet, so
that's right. That's right.
we'll see how he plays. This is gonna be a lot different coming in a month, and I'm sure Jason will be playing in a month, probably less than a
Absolutely.
month. But
Yeah. Speaking of that, we're on Jason Tatum watch right now. I don't know if you saw the NBA schedule, primetime schedule change. I know we're going to be in Boston on the 27th, Celtics versus
Jason
Nets.
had his own little recovery video for the All-Star game.
Yes.
Yeah, and they were talking
Yes.
about again, the watch is not a tornado watch; it's a Jason Tatum watch.
We should make a little tornado watch thing, but with Jason Tatum's face at the inside.
From the states of Massachusetts, every time it gets closer to Boston, whoever could do that, post it
Yeah,
on
please.
Twitter for us and tag us, please. I would love to
Please.
see that.
Oh, that'd be so good. I don't know if we'll see him on the 22nd. Yeah, go
or
ahead.
do is it a Santa tracker? It's a Jason Tatum tracker.
Like the Santa Claus one, like the NORAD.
Yeah.
Just Jason Tatum with crutches. That's horrible. Oh no. Ooh. I could have done the same with
All players are reindeers. Sorry.
Oh, that's horrible. That is horrible.
That's horrible. Sorry.
I don't think we'll see him on the 27th specifically. I think that he's probably going to be.
We would have gotten news by now.
We'd love it. We would love it if something changed.
It would be a surprise.
It absolutely would be.
The night no one knows, but even once the game starts or when they do intro, they actually have Jason Tatum come as an intro as a surprise.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
Oh.
That'd be so cool. I think it's going to be the March 1st game. NBC changed the broadcast from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. so that it would be on prime time against the Oklahoma City Thunder. So that would be my guess.
Yeah.
You don't change a primetime game, the time of it, for no reason, unless you suspect that Jason Tatum or somebody big is coming back. And Jason Tatum is that player.
Yeah.
But you're right, Sean. I think the thing, we are on Tatum watch, absolutely. But I think the Celtics team is going to be taken to the next level. I think you were saying to me with Tatum coming off the bench, right? And then suddenly,
you gotta. He's not going to play as many minutes, of course. He's got to ease in. He's probably going to do maybe play 20 minutes or maybe even 50 minutes for his first game. See how he does, and then build up. That'll probably take a couple of weeks to do that for each game. And then he'll play not his full, probably 35 minutes where he's supposed to play.
Right.
34, 35 minutes.
Yeah.
Out of the 40 minutes standard play.
But imagine that for teams right now when suddenly they've been playing Jaylen Brown and Jaylen Brown comes out and then Sam Hauser comes in for the rest of the game. Imagine teams when Jaylen Brown goes to take a break before halftime and Jason Tatum comes in. That's a whole other thing you have to plan around.
Yeah.
That's a whole other situation you have to plan around.
These teams got to, especially if they got to figure out, who's guarding who, especially when Tatum's going back, who's going to guard him and stuff. He's hard to guard because of his amazing shots, especially his mid-range.
Yeah. It's going to be exciting stuff, man. I mean, with Tatum coming back, Sean, I'm going to leave it off here before we call it an
Okay,
evening and get
yeah,
plug time in here.
little long today, but that's okay.
That's all good. We had a lot of stuff to go over. We had a lot of stuff to catch up on. Had some MLB preview to do.
Yeah.
Sean, I want to leave off here on a really, really fun note. I don't know if folks are ready for this. However, we have some exciting news. Sean, we have a location for our meetup following the Celtics versus Nets game on the 27th. Folks, come to the Painting the Chat Sports Podcast meetup at the Harp at 85 Causeway following the Celtics versus Nets game Friday, February 27th. Sean and I will be there with swag after the game. Come on by, grab a brew. Let's talk about the game.
Yes.
It's going to be a really good time. The Harp is an awesome place. Yeah, you'll be able to come hang out with the podcast crew following the game.
Yeah, that's next Friday. Woo! Excited.
Oh, that's right. Right around the corner here.
It's
Really exciting times here. Cannot wait for you guys to come show up. We'll have stickers. We're going to have maybe even some card giveaways. We're going to do a whole bunch of things. It's a nice little meetup. You'll be able to find out all the details on our Facebook event that we currently have up and running. There'll be more details shared across social media. However, come grab a brew with us after the game at the Harp, 85 Causeway Street in Boston, right across from the TD Garden following the Celtics game on Friday, February 27th. Sean?
You'll see me in Celtics up, but you'll be easy to spot Robin with Ms. Brooklyn Nets stuff.
The Brooklyn Nets
the only Brooklyn Nets fan there.
It's going to be an exciting time. We cannot wait to see you there. Once again, head on over. We'll have the Facebook link for you at the next episode before we head down to Boston this coming week, just to give you those final details. But head on over to Twitter, over to Instagram to get the details. Post-game meetup at the Harp, 85 Causeway Street, once again in Boston, across from the TD Garden. We will see you there, folks. But Sean, we've reached that time here in the podcast. It's a little thing we like to call,
I guess it's plug time.
Yeah, it's plug time here at Painting the Chat Podcast. Sean, where can the good people find you across social media?
Right here on Twitter, Sean Show 1, Instagram at ItZoneZ. Right over there. Yes, right here. And you can follow our TikTok, Painting the Chat Pod, as well.
You're gonna have a lot of content on that with our Boston trip for sure.
Oh yeah. Well, maybe we'll do a couple live streams there before and after the game.
That'd be fun. I like that idea. Absolutely. You guys can follow me here on X Live at X_Robin W Vogt, over on Instagram at IG_Robin W Vogt. Please make sure to follow Painting the Chat Podcast right here on X Twitter at Paint the Chat Pod. That's right. You see that QR code just like last week, right up there. Scan that QR code, take a picture of it, go and follow us. Sean's got it. Yeah. Scan that, follow us over on social media for everything about the post-game meetup happening next Friday evening after the Celtics versus Nets game. Also, more giveaways, more podcast content coming, especially with baseball season. We're moving out of Wicked Hot Stove and we're moving into baseball recaps. Lots of news coming on down the pipeline. March Madness too, Sean. Hey, guess what? It's going to be an exciting time for March Madness for many, many reasons, including we have a new graphic for this year. How about that? We're ready to rock and roll.
And when Selection Sunday comes, it's going to be a fun time.
Oh, yes, indeed it is. So, guys, keep it locked here to Painting the Chat Podcast. Once again, 85 Causeway Street, post-game meetup at the Harp. More details to come around that.
Yeah, we will. Once you do the March Madness, we'll probably do it live. We'll do our picks
Yes,
live.
it will be.
I don't think
Yes.
we did. I don't think we did our picks live last time, did we?
No, I don't think we did.
This year we will. If
This
you guys
year we
want us-
absolutely will.
Yes, you could persuade us to change our picks.
That would be absolutely awesome. I'd love that. All right. For my co-host over there, Mr. Sean Michaud, I'm Robin Vogt, signing off here on this Sunday evening. We will see you all very, very soon.
Have a good night, everyone.
See you, everybody. We'll see you soon. Peace.
Yeah, Kevin calling, Kevin, I just wanted, if there's any way to be able to turn my computer off without make a big deal of it. Thank you.